I'm Richard Wilson. I'm professor of law and anthropology and the Gladstein Chair of Human Rights. My project, United Against Hate, examines the effort after 2020 and Black Lives Matter protests to reform the police and criminal justice system to be more responsive to marginalized communities, in particular by providing them with more security from their experiences of hate crimes. I was appointed by the governor of Connecticut to the Hate Crimes Advisory Council, and I found myself in a position where I could impact how law enforcement and the criminal justice system in the state handles hate crimes. So I thought I would study it at the same time. I'm an anthropologist, so that brings a new kind of approach to the problem. I'll really try and understand how the actors themselves understand the problem. So I'll do interviews with police, with judges, defense attorneys, prosecutors, also victims of hate crimes, to try and understand how the criminal justice system handles hate crimes, the degree to which it's responsive, and how it might be improved. All of my research over the last 30 years or so has been centrally focused on one question. What do we do in the wake of mass atrocities, in the wake of societal trauma, of conflict, of genocide? What are the options for successor governments? And in particular, I've been interested in the question of justice. We simply don't know how many hate crimes are committed in the United States every year. The FBI figures rely on police departments to report. 85% of them either report zero hate crimes or they do not report at all. So our statistics are simply inadequate. So our first problem is reporting and just understanding the extent of the problem. Our second problem is our ability to investigate and report hate crimes by law enforcement. So I believe much more could be done in the way of training law enforcement to identify hate crimes. Our third problem is the prosecution of hate crimes. We need our prosecution service to be more responsive to actually enforcing the law, enforcing the statutes, and ensuring that if appropriate, the individual retains the hate crimes charge in their conviction. So the United Kingdom reports 120,000 hate crimes a year. The United States reports 7,000. So that's a big difference. We have to ask ourselves the question, are there many, many more hate crimes in the United Kingdom than in the United States? Are they just 50 times more racist than we are? And the answer is probably no. The answer is probably the rate of hate crimes is roughly similar in both countries. But in Britain, they have a system for reporting hate crimes and providing that information in real time to police commissioners that I believe we can learn from. I hope that I provide actionable data and information. So the first challenge of my research is simply understanding the problem. And I don't believe that we fully understand the nature and extent of hate crimes in the United States. Then I believe it's possible from that to distill some of the best practices that we see around the country. There are cities and states that do better. Seattle is a city, for instance, that has a bias crimes unit in the Seattle PD, and I believe that we can learn from those best practices and try and implement them in our state and in other states. Well, I'd like to write a book. I'd like to write a number of articles, and also more popular or public pieces. So I have published in the Los Angeles Times, the Washington Post, on blogs like Medium, and I'd like to write up my research in a way that makes it accessible to the general public as well as to a scholarly audience.